So until you actually get in the water, you have no idea what to expect. We had never seen anything like that on any of our dives.
Honestly, it was nerve-wracking and intimidating. Even with the briefings, I didn't know what it was actually going to feel like underwater.
The whole time I'm thinking, this thing has been underwater for like 80 years and it's been shot up, bombed, or torpedoed, and we're about to go inside of it. Is this even safe? Yeah, for me, this was the most exciting diving experience that I've had in a long time. And honestly, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I would absolutely do it again.
100%. I'd do it again.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're celebrating our 75th dive in a big way, at one of the most unique dive sites in the world. We're here in the Philippines, and we're headed to the legendary wreck diving spot in Coron. Now, if you're a diver, this is one place you absolutely have to experience, because Coron has some of the most well-preserved, shallow Japanese World War II shipwrecks that have been underwater for over 80 years. And in this video, we're going to take you along on 2 days of diving these wreck sites, plus we'll share with you some tips, recommendations, and things you'll want to know if this is something that's on your bucket list. Just be sure to stick around till the end of the video so we can show you our amazing resort where we literally got picked up from our front door by our dive boat. But first, here's a quick orientation. Coron is a small town in Palawan, and it serves as the main hub for this region. Most travelers fly into Francisco Bay Reyes Airport, which is the primary entry point by air. From there, we took about an hour drive northwest to Pusunga, which is a quieter, more remote area, putting us closer to the wreck sites we plan to dive.
Okay, good morning guys. We're here waiting for our boat down at the dock. We're getting picked up directly from our resort for our first day of diving in the Philippines.
Getting to the majority of these wreck sites was just a short boat ride from here. It took about 20 minutes and we were on top of the first one. The Kogyo Maru was our first dive, and after a detailed safety briefing from our dive guide Flora, we were ready to hit the water. This wreck site sits between 25 and 34 meters deep, so it is definitely on the deeper side for recreational diving. As we dropped slowly down, the visibility began to open up, and then, out of nowhere, you just see this massive structure appear. The first time you see a shipwreck of this magnitude, you don't really know what to expect. It was very exciting and a little bit scary at the same time. The Kogyo Maru was our introduction to shipwreck diving. It is around 160 meters long, and it was actually a cargo vessel transporting construction equipment when it was sunk in 1944 during a US air attack on the Japanese supply fleet. As we made our way inside, you can still see cement mixers, pipes, and construction material that is well preserved. Swimming through this wreck feels like exploring an underwater construction site from World War II. Because the Kogyo Maru is lying on its side, we found it easy to explore because you're swimming through what used to be vertical spaces, so entry and exits into these spaces is much easier from the side than the top. and the visibility was much better on the inside. Next, we hit it to the Okikawa Maru. This one is slightly shallower, sitting between 10 to 30 meters and much more accessible. The Okikawa Maru was originally a passenger cargo ship before it was converted for military use by the Japanese Navy. The shipwreck is about 150 meters long, and like the Kogyo Maru, it also sits on its side, but it's actually divided into several sections which make it perfect and easy to explore with plenty of visibility, access, and egress points. The Okikawa Maru feels a bit more open and much less intimidating than the Kogyo Maru, which makes it a lot more fun to explore. Our final dive for that day was to the Okikawa Maru. The Okikawa Maru is one of those wrecks that looks calm and beautiful on the outside, but once you start thinking about its story and what's inside, it hits very different. The Okikawa Maru was a Japanese oil tanker about 160 meters long, anchored in Coron Bay during World War II. And on September 24, 1944, during a massive USA raid, it was hit by several bombs from American aircrafts. What's interesting about this wreck is after it was hit, it drifted and eventually sank in a more controlled way compared to some of the other wrecks, ending up relatively stable in an upright position. With its bow fully detached, we entered this giant tanker and quickly realized how massive and dark the central halls were. With massive walls dividing each section, it's incredible, but can also be very terrifying. Over the last 80 years, this ship has been taken over by marine life and now completely covered with corals, sponges, and schools of fish. It honestly doesn't even look like a wreck anymore. It feels a lot more like a living reef from the outside. The next day, we started off with our first dive on one of the most popular and unique wreck sites in Coron, the Akitsushima. The Akitsushima was a seaplane tender for the Imperial Japanese Navy, which is basically a support ship for aircrafts. And in 1944, the ship was hit multiple times during USA raids until it finally sunk. This wreck sits a little bit deeper, between 22 and 36 meters, and when you finally get to it, the first thing you notice is this giant crane sitting on the ocean bed. This crane, along with the anti-aircraft gun that can still be seen here today, are the most iconic parts of this shipwreck. It's honestly one of the coolest things we've ever seen underwater. Our final wreck dive here was to the East Tengen gunboat, and this was a perfect way to end a diving expedition. It's much shallower, sitting between 10 to 22 meters, and it's ideal for beginners and gives you a lot more bottom time. This was a smaller patrol vessel about 40 meters long, and as it sits today, the entire wreck is covered in corals and surrounded by amazing sea life and reef fish. It's also a fun wreck to dive with plenty of access and egress points and great visibility because of its shallow position. Now, here are some tips and recommendations if this is something that you plan to do or if it's something that's on your bucket list. Tip number 1, be sure to get your advanced open water certification. Most of these wreck sites sit below 20 meters, and you'll need to be skilled when it comes to buoyancy control, air consumption, and just overall comfortable underwater, and especially in tight spaces. Tip number 2, be sure to bring your own torch. Inside these shipwrecks, it gets dark real fast. And even though the diving companies will most likely provide you with one, it's always good to have your own, especially something that you're familiar with, or just as a backup. Tip number 3, make sure you do your own research, especially if you're limited on time. We personally recommend the Kogyo Maru, Okikawa Maru, and the one that you absolutely can't miss, the Akitsushima. Tip number 4, we did Barracuda Lake as one of our dives, and honestly, for us it wasn't worth it. And this is why we didn't mention it in this video. Just be sure to do your own research on it to see if it's something that you'd want to do. But honestly, if we were to do it again, we would have rather done another shipwreck like the Olympia or the Urquell. Now, if you're looking to stay somewhere close to these shipwrecks, we highly recommend the Pusengape Lodge. This place is absolutely incredible. From the spacious decked out suites with oceanfront views to the stunning infinity pool and some seriously good food, this place just hits on every level. The best part is that we were able to be picked up by our pirate divers Coron directly from the hotel and dropped off at the end of each day when we were done diving. No commuting, no hassle, just wake up, gear up, and go. Now, it doesn't get any more convenient than that. And finally, a big shout out and a huge thank you to Pirate Divers Coron and our dive guide Flora, who were incredible from start to finish. These guys really knew what they were doing when it came to wreck diving. The rental gear was in excellent condition and even had a chance to properly get fitted the day before, which made everything super smooth. From booking to communication, the whole process was seamless, and as soon as we arrived, they walked us through exactly what to expect, and overall, the pricing was very reasonable for the experience. They also took great care of us between dives with solid lunch and snack. The boat itself was spacious, comfortable, and well organized. All around, a top-tier experience. Well, that's it for this video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and don't forget to check out our blog at riworldtravel.com. And as always, subscribe if you want to see more of our content like this video right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.